It is Crystal with Pineapple Papers, and it is day 3 of Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches, round 19. I gotta get the 19 in my head. So today's sketch is from Nicole Leatherby, and it's definitely a scene sketch. So you've got the sun and the clouds up at the top, and down at the bottom you've got the white picket fence and some florals. And so I was thinking, okay, so the pictures are up in the sky, right? And so I decided to grab some of our airplane window photos from when we went to New York. And I even was able to grab a photo of the Statue of Liberty. Obviously, it's not a good photo. It's over like in the corner. I didn't catch it in the middle. So I was thinking, well, maybe I want to kind of highlight it somehow so that it makes a little bit of sense. So I have a couple of these frames, and I'm like, well, okay, that doesn't really work. Maybe I can highlight Manhattan, and ultimately that just doesn't happen. So I do have 3 photos. The sketch calls for 3 by 3 photos, but obviously mine are 4 by 6. So I am going to put them together a little wonky because that's kind of more my style than really straight. And I overlap them just a little bit so that you get to see that amazing red airplane paper in the background because I love this paper. So I decided for the picket fence, I'm going to do a torn piece of paper, and it's got all of these bits and pieces on it that say like, you are here, fly away, that type of thing. And so I decided not to stick it all the way on the bottom so that some of that paper shows in both areas. And then I have this Echo Park chipboard sheet, and I'm going to end up using that for the majority of my embellishing. So I have my title. It says Enjoy the Journey, and it's going underneath the photos just like in the sketch, but mine is a little bit more to the right side because that's where I have the kind of empty space in the photo to cover up versus in the middle. So my title is close, but not completely. I also have a chipboard like a cityscape. I'm going to put that at the bottom. It's got a bridge. You can kind of see some of the bridges there. And then I decided to do 2 embellishment clusters in the top upper corners of the photos where there's just not a lot of stuff there. So I do like embellishing on top of my photos, especially when I do a 4 by 6 photo and it has some basically negative space. So I've got an airplane because we're in an airplane. I've got a geotag. I found this heart and it has like an arrow, and I was like, that is how I'm going to highlight the fact that this is the Statue of Liberty from the airplane. So I have that pointing there, and then I have another chipboard piece to the other side. I don't know what it says right at the moment. I think this piece says book your ticket. Obviously, our tickets are already booked because we're on the flight, but I think it goes. And I'm going to get a couple of hearts and a floral. Here, I was thinking, okay, I guess, really wanted to use a frame today. I'm not really sure. Obviously, I didn't get any frames on, but I was really hoping for it. I was like, what if I highlight one of the words on this paper? I don't end up doing that. I have this little label I was trying to use on there. But really, all of my embellishments end up being chipboard pieces, which I think is super fun. Like just to take one supply and really try to use it. And I'm a huge fan of chipboard. I love the dimension. I know that some people think it's a little too thick, and I think it works really well because you can tear off some of the chipboard behind it and you can make it thinner if you'd like, so you can have the dimension or you don't have to have the dimension. But I did go off screen and glued everything down. This paper is obviously very thin. You can see it folding with all of that chipboard. But I love how this looks, so that's going to do it for me today. I do have a couple of close-ups for you. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. Make sure you give Nicole some love for this great sketch, and I will have the playlist linked down below so you can see what everybody else is doing with this sketch as well. So there is a final look at my layout. And remember to wear your crown, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.